Hello everyone, there is a new commentary. This is a 3 versus 3 battle, 31k rule sets. And let's introduce the players and what they have. Mohamed from Titan's clan, so he's playing with Roman Julia faction, and he has 4 Praetorian Cav with 8 upgrades, 3 Archer Auxilia, and 13 Urban Cohorts. We have Sparky, who's playing as Pontus. I think he should be having 2 Chariot Archers, which are already shooting down the Christians of the enemy. 4 sided chariots. 2 are here, and 14 bronze shield pikemen. I'm playing as Scipii, and I have standard build with 14 urban cohorts and 6 Praetorian cav. On the other team, we have Cleo from the Greek clan, who is playing as Macedon, and he has 4 companion cavalry, 3 Christian archers, and 13 royal pikemen, right? Yes, 8 and 5. We have AdmiralDoucheBag from the Heaven, who is playing as Brutier as always, and he has the standard build as well. Oh no, he has 13 urban cohorts and 1 legionary first cohort and 6 Praetorian cavalry. And Dio is playing with Greek cities with 6 regular archers, and I'm pretty sure he got 14 gold Spartans. So the main issue was to avoid the archer damage that this Sparky can get on his infantry. So he's already moved up with his chariot archers and is already shooting down the enemy archers. So they didn't took the slingers, which is good, and we have these archers of Mohamed in our far left flank shooting down the enemy archers as well. So it should be okay. We should be diminish the possible damage on the bronze shields. And as you can see, we have the huge cavalry advantage, so we should get best out of it. And I guess the positioning that they have right now is the ideal. The Greece goes for the Rome goes for the Pontus, and the Macedon tries to defend against me, which is a decent engagement they might have. And here we see the Dio is just aggressively moving against most infantry, and he's probably going to engage with this infantry. It seems Mo is going to halt, and probably he has the pillar on, and the Dio didn't have the pillar shield, but this kind of engagement can really avoid the pillar damage, which we can see. Only a couple of them down to 69 or something. A good move by Sparky. I like this move a lot. I don't usually like to running away and trying to shadow the Greece and all this bullshit. So what Mo did is ideal. Until if the Sparky is going to do what he's doing now. So it is always good, because the Greece is going to come with you and try to avoid the engagement with Pontus, with any pikes. So it's good to accept the fight, and it's perfect how the Sparky is just going up, getting the engagement from Mo, and Mo is pulling back his infantry, as you can see. He still leaves some of his infantry, which is good, because the Spartans won't really be able to just have the direct access to the pikemen, but they have to dig through the testudos, and while they are doing it, the pikes will have will be able to kill the Spartans, which we are seeing right now. So this move I liked a lot. So what I'm doing, I am flanking. Basically, this is what I'm doing right now. But the gap is the main problem between me and my allies, and the issue is if I'm flanking, I have to get the best out of it, and my allies' moves has to complete the moves that I'm making. Oh, okay, the flanking might give you a positional advantage, but the thing is you get separated from your allies. So the issue is if your allies do not engage the enemy troops in the middle and on the other flank, then you will be in a huge risk. But what my allies are doing is perfect. So they are accepting the fight. They're waiting for me to go for to get my positions. If I hold here, if I don't do anything, then it's a very dangerous move. Also, look what is what they can do. Okay, the Mohamed, he's also doing a good job with having 6 of his infantry in reserves. The best thing about Mohamed is his infantry. He can play with 6 of his infantry in a way like in the same quality, let's put it this way, than the average player on this game. Like he's holding these Spartans and somehow, and he's being supported by Sparky as well. So he has this 6 infantry. The issue is he knows that he cannot really go for this engagement like this because my cavalry is on the other flank and enemy cavalry is in the middle, right? And he has only 4 cavalry. If they push against with these 4 cavalry, with all 10 cavalry, they can just block with companions, let's suppose, and if these infantry are engaged, they can just simply kill with the one charge, like quite a big amount of this infantry. So Mo knows this, and he keeps these 6 infantry in reserve. He wants to prolong the battle as much as he could with engaging less amount of his infantry, even though he will lose. The issue, the main thing is happening right now here. So I have to go for this as quick as I could. So let's just... Again, I split up my infantry right now here to close the gap. And I'm putting them into stud or whatever. My plan is to play defensive with my infantry here, but the main force is right now right here. For some reason Admiral is going for the charge here. I think he was thinking that the movement that I will have will take long, but my infantry stopped right here and my cavalry was close, so he took a big damage on his infantry. Mohamed was waiting something like this to happen here, so his cavalry is in action right now. He's going to catch those units that are moving away, and so I have my cavalry repositioned. He's also attacking the companions. Then that's good. That's really good. So these Roman infantry, if I was Admiral, I would just try to save this cavalry because they will be dead very soon. So the main threat was the cavalry, which we managed to kill a big portion of it. But look what is happening. The Admiral also had quite a few infantry in reserve, so he's going aggressively to this Pontus pikemen here, and he's also supporting Dio against Mo. A good teamwork by him, by the way, right here. So if I hold it right, this position, if I don't do any shit right now, then my allies will be dead, definitely. So it's a big disadvantage they are in right now. So I have to push like this, but I forgot about this cavalry completely at some point. Well, I realized the cavalry, but they were quick to respond. I mean, they had the shorter path than I did to block this cavalry, and I will eventually lose this infantry. And I had one cavalry routed here. So yeah, this charge would end up these 2 engaged urbans that I had, and Mo is using his cavalry on Spartans, eventually he managed to rout 3 Spartans. And there are not much things to do here for Sparky. He will lose the infantry fight, but he sees these tired urbans and he wants to get best out of this engagement until his infantry was dead. He wanted to go for this charge with his chariots. I'm not sure how much it was effective, but they did some damage. Anyways, a good play by him. He was trying to shadow the Greece, but not just in a stupid way, but the mainly the ones that would be how do you call it, engaged in the Roman ally already. Also a good chariot play right here, so it really makes things easier for me. So these chariots, even they are not engaged, just having it close would just decrease the how do you call it, the morale of the royals too much. So that was a very handy right now, right here. And so Wilmus has no pike left, and we have some, I don't know, 10 urbans of admirals, some couple of pikemen of Clio, and some Spartans from Dio. So what I should do, I have 2 options: to go for this engagement immediately, or just to wait to see and how this battle will end. Probably my allies will lose it if we don't just use our cavalry or whatever, because we also have this cavalry right here. So if they charge these engaged urbans Mohamed has, then they will be dead. So what I decided was also my allies, it was my allies' call as well. So to go for this engagement, because they had bunched up and we have the cavalry advantage, we can just go for this engagement with my infantry pushing, and to keep them in this position so that our cavalry charge would be more effective. So as you can see, so the bigger portion of this infantry admiral had already got routed with a couple of charges. So also Mohamed had his cavalry and infantry got routed by this final charge of the companions. That should be it. There is no way to pull this out for the enemy team. So that's it. I think this was a pretty interesting battle. So the strategic moves and like the short-term plans or whatever you call it, just it's very important to, how do you call it, to have something in mind. Like if I would just push it this way, I mean I'm talking about the team wise. So if I just would push this way and if my allies would just stand there, then at some point I would be doubled and I would be too away from my allies to get the support. So my allies, so with the average players this would end up like this. With my allies, they knew that they had to just keep the other 2 members of the other team busy so that I could get the positional advantage. Yeah, I think this was an interesting battle, and I hope you guys liked it too. And good game to everyone. It's just triple speedy.
The enemy general is slain, and our army is victorious. A tribute to Roman strength and honor.
Yeah, that's it. Good game to everyone, and I hope to see you guys again very soon.